So students, today we will deal with the first chapter of your history syllabus. This chapter is very interesting and I think you will like it. See, the name of the chapter is Bricks, Beads and Stones. This chapter is related to Harappan civilization or Indus Valley civilization. The two pictures given in this slide are related to the civilization. Now, Harappan civilization or Indus Valley civilization existed many years back, thousands of years back. Now, how did we know about civilization of that time? And please remember, it is a prehistoric civilization. That is, we have not been able to get any written records. We have got some signs, some symbols, but still now research is going on. Still now, archaeologists have not been able to read it out. So let us see what are the sources of civilization, this civilization. Seals, houses and buildings, pottery, tools and ornaments. Now we will discuss with these source of civilizations in the later slides. We will discuss in details. After that, it is not possible for any civilization to rise up in a single day or to fall down in a single day. It needs time. And you know, just like river, just like human beings, there are stages of development, no? A human being takes birth as a baby, then that human being grows up like a young man or woman. After that, he or she turns to the old man or old woman. Similarly, the civilization also had three parts. One was the early Harappan part, time period 3300 BCE to 2600. BCE is before Common Era. Mature Harappan, time period 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE. And late Harappan, 1900 to 1300 BCE. After that, see, how did the people live there? We know for people to exist, we need food, we need clothing, we need shelter. These are the basic things. Now let us see what type of food they used, what type of animals existed during that time. The grains that have been found there belongs to wheat, barley, lentil, chickpea, millet. So when we get evidence of these grains, it shows us that these crops were cultivated during Harappan civilization. Not only they were eaten by the people, but production was also there. Along with that, among domestic animals, we get cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo, pig, and wild animals, boar, deer, gharial. This means these animals existed during that time period in that area. And who are the people who have given us information? Archaeobotanists are people who gives us information about early plants, early crops. They are known as archaeobotanists. And the people who gives us information about early animals, they are known as archaeozoologists. So these people have studied, they have done much research, they have collected evidences, they have collected fossils, bones, whatever they have got, and they have given us this information. So now we will start with agricultural technologies. That is, what were the methods to do agriculture, what animals were used, what tools were used. First of all, we see engraving of bulls on many seals and sculptures. Now Naturally, that animal was very popular then and it was used for agriculture. That is why we see that picture on several places. Next is terracotta models of plough. What is terracotta? Terracotta means baked clay. So just like you have toy cart, toy aeroplane, so that time the people made toy plough. Now naturally they had seen original plough, then only they were able to make those toy plough. After that we see marks of ploughing, where we see in a field at Kalibangan. So that shows that ploughing was practiced then. After that we see traces of canals and reservoirs. What are canals and reservoirs? They are used for storing water, so that when water will be less, they can use this water for irrigation purpose. Next slide, see. There is a terracotta plough, as I told you. Where it has been found? It has been found at Banwali. And along with that you can see another field, where on that field you can see marks. You can see the marks here. That is, the ploughing was done here. Town planning. Town planning is a very important aspect of Harappan civilization because it is renowned, it is known for its town planning. First, let me say the cities were well planned before starting to build them. Mainly, the cities were divided in two parts. The upper part was called citadel and the lower area was known as lower town. The important buildings like government office, palace, any community hall, these type of buildings were kept in the citadel. Why? For their protection. Again, for protection, the citadel was surrounded by a fort also. The drains carrying wastewater were covered with baked bricks. See how their intelligence was, because they knew that if open drains are kept, that will cause pollution, that will cause disease. The area will get polluted. That is why they covered the drains with baked bricks. Along with the houses, there were attached wells also. And there were some special buildings, like I think you have heard the name in your class 6 also, because there also you had Harappan societies, Harappan cities you had. So the important buildings like granary, great bath, these buildings will also be done in details. See, this is a reconstruct Harappan city. In computer, it has been constructed. So this was how the Harappan cities were planned and how they looked like. You see the shape of the houses, either they are rectangle or they are square. And each house had 2 to 3 rooms. Even they had bathrooms also, proper bathrooms also they had. Next this map is about Harappan cities. See location of Harappan cities. See, this Indus river is flowing. Its branches also you can see Ghagar, Sutlej, Ravi, Indus, and along with that what we are seeing, the places Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Chenhu-daro, Kotdiji. These are all important. Kalibangan also you are getting. So these are all important cities located in Harappan civilization. Basically, at present, many of the places are in Pakistan. Few places are in India. And he was the famous archaeologist Sir John Marshall. He has excavated important Harappan cities. Which Harappan city? What he has excavated? That we will see in the next slide. But he is a very famous archaeologist, Sir John Marshall. So at last, we will read about Mohenjo-daro. Mohenjo-daro is located in present Pakistan and it is beside river Indus, just as I showed you here. See Mohenjo-daro. And who excavated? This person, Sir John Marshall, excavated Mohenjo-daro. What were the important buildings we received from here? Great Bath, Great Granary. Great Granary is where food crops were stored in a huge number. Great Bath, which was used for special purposes, religious purposes, where people went in a large number for taking their bath. How was the city? It was a very well planned city. The main streets, either they went from north to south or they went from east to west. The drains were covered by bricks, and as we have manholes at present days, they also had manholes. Along with that, we get many important sculptures. Stone male head, one male head picture I have given you earlier at the starting. Animal figure, bronze dancing girl. I have shown you that picture also. Bronze dancing girl. So all these sculptures we received from Mohenjo-daro. And another name of, actually the literal meaning of the name Mohenjo-daro is Mound of the Dead, because when it was excavated, many skeletons were found. So this was all for today. If you have any doubt in this part, you can message me. Rest part we will discuss in our next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.